I don't know how long I have left. I don't know if anyone will ever read this, but I have to try. I have to tell my story. Maybe it will help someone else. Maybe it will warn them. Maybe it will save them from him. He is the Slender Man, the faceless nightmare that haunts me every day and night. The tall, thin, black-suited monster that stalks me wherever I go. The one who took my friends and family away from me. The one who wants to take me too. I first saw him when I was 16. It was a sunny day in June, and I was hanging out with my best friends, Jake and Lily, at the park. We were bored and looking for something fun to do. Jake suggested we go to the old abandoned house at the edge of town. He said he heard it was haunted and that there were some creepy things inside. Lily and I were hesitant, but Jake convinced us it would be an adventure. He said we could take some pictures and videos and post them online. He said we could become famous. He said we could become famous. He said we could prove that ghosts exist. We agreed to go with him, but we made him promise to be careful and not to touch anything. We grabbed our bikes and headed to the house. It was a large two-story building that looked like it had been abandoned for decades. The windows were boarded up, the paint was peeling off, and the roof was caving in. There was a rusty metal fence around the property, but it had a hole big enough for us to squeeze through. We parked our bikes near the fence and entered the house through the back door. It was dark and dusty inside, and we could barely see anything. We turned on our flashlights and looked around. The house was filled with junk and debris. There were old newspapers, broken furniture, rotten food, and moldy clothes everywhere. There were also some strange drawings on the walls. They looked like stick figures with long arms and legs and no faces. Whoa, what are these? Jake asked, pointing at one of the drawings. I don't know, they look creepy, Lily said. Maybe they're some kind of cult symbols, Jake said. Maybe this house was used for some weird rituals or something. Or maybe they're just graffiti, I said. Come on, let's go upstairs. Maybe we'll find something more interesting there. We followed Jake up the creaky stairs to the second floor. There were more rooms and more drawings on the walls. Some of them had words written next to them, but they were in a language we didn't recognize. What does that say? Lily asked, pointing at one of the words. I don't know, maybe it's Latin or something, Jake said. Let me take a picture of it. Maybe we can translate it later. He took out his phone and snapped a photo of the word. As soon as he did, we heard a loud thud from downstairs. What was that? I asked. I don't know, maybe something fell, Jake said. Maybe we should go check it out, Lily said. Or maybe we should get out of here, I said. Don't be a chicken, Jake said. It's probably nothing. Come on, let's go see what it is. He led us back down the stairs and into the living. Eliti Alindi. 5:20. Continue the story. Eliti Gondarilli. Continue the story. He led us back down the stairs and into the living room. There was a large hole in the floor and we could see the basement below. It was dark and damp and we could hear water dripping. What the hell? Jake said. How did that happen? Maybe the floor was weak and it collapsed, Lily said. Or maybe someone or something did it, I said. Stop being paranoid, Jake said. There's no one here but us. Come on, let's go see what's down there. He walked towards the hole and shone his flashlight into it. Jake, don't, Lily said. It's too dangerous. It's fine, don't worry, Jake said. I'll be right back. He jumped into the hole and disappeared into the darkness. Jake! Lily shouted. Are you okay? There was no answer. Jake! I shouted. Can you hear us? Still no answer. Jake, come on. This isn't funny, Lily said. We waited for a few minutes, but there was no sign of Jake. Something's wrong, I said. We have to go after him. No, we have to get help, Lily said. We can't just leave him here, I said. We can't go down there either, Lily said. It's too risky. We argued for a while, but we couldn't agree on what to do. We were both scared and worried about Jake. Then we heard a scream. It was Jake. He sounded terrified and in pain. Jake, Lily shouted. What's happening? Help me, Jake screamed. He's here! He's here! Who's here? I asked. Who's hurting you? The Slender Man, Jake cried. He's got me! He's got me! We froze in horror. We had heard of the Slender Man before. He was a legend, a myth, a creepypasta. He was supposed to be a fictional character, not a real one. But Jake sounded so real, so scared. We had to do something. Lily, we have to go down there, I said. No, we can't, Lily said. We have to save Jake, I said. We can't save him, Lily said. He's already gone. She was right. Jake's screams stopped abruptly, and there was only silence. Jake? I called out. Jake, are you still there? No answer. Jake, Lily called out. Jake, please say something. No answer. We looked at each other in disbelief and fear. We didn't know what to do. Then we heard a voice. It was deep and raspy and cold. It came from the hole. It said one word. As we heard Jake's screams, Lily and I realized that we had to do something. We had to save our friend, even if it meant risking our own lives. We rushed towards the hole in the floor and shone our flashlights into the darkness. We could barely see anything, but we could hear Jake's cries coming from somewhere below us. Jake, where are you? I shouted. Can you hear us? There was no answer. We cautiously climbed down the stairs to the basement, trying not to fall or make too much noise. The air was cold and damp, and the smell of mold and rot was overpowering. We could hear water dripping and the sound of our own breathing. And we could feel something else, something that made our skin crawl and our hearts race. It was a presence, a malevolent force that seemed to surround us, to suffocate us, to consume us. Jake, where are you? Lily whispered. Can you see us? He's not here, I said. We have to keep looking. We split up and searched the basement, calling out Jake's name and shining our flashlights in every corner. But there was no sign of him, no trace of him, no clue of what had happened to him. And then we saw him, or what was left of him. His body was lying on the ground, twisted and broken, his limbs contorted and his head crushed. His eyes were wide open, staring at us, pleading for help, but there was no life in them. He was dead. He was gone. He was a victim of the Slender Man. We screamed in horror and ran towards the stairs, trying to escape the basement and the monster that had killed our friend. But it was too late. He was already there, standing in front of us. The Slender Man, the faceless nightmare, the tall, thin, black-suited monster that we had only heard of in stories and legends. He was real. He was here. He was after us. We tried to run, but he was too fast. We tried to fight, but he was too strong. We tried to scream, but he was too silent. He grabbed Lily first, his long, thin arms wrapping around her, squeezing her, suffocating her. She struggled, she fought, she screamed, but he didn't let go. And then he took her away. He vanished into the darkness, taking her with him, leaving me alone, alone with my fear, alone with my sorrow, alone with my sorrow, alone with my guilt. I should have listened to my instinct. I should have stayed away from the haunted house. I should have never let Jake convince me to go inside. I should have saved my friends. But now it was too late. Now I was the only one left, the only survivor, the only witness, the only target. The Slender Man was still out there. And he was coming for me. For just $3 a month, you can have your name featured in my YouTube videos and descriptions. Not only will you be supporting my channel, but you'll also be immortalized in the credits of my content. If you're looking for something a bit more personalized, consider becoming a $25 a month patron. I'll voice your stories and bring them to life on my channel. Create a special drawing just for you, or even write a unique story tailored to your interests. So don't hesitate. Join my patron community today and help me keep the spooky stories coming. And remember, together we can save each other from the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for your support.